Hello, YouTube. My name is Bill O'Donnell. Um, I have had a YouTube channel going on 10 years. It'll be 10 years in November. And I thought it might be interesting to start documenting why I like to play music, why it's a passion. And I may totally suck at this, but I thought it would be fun. It would be interesting. I enjoy watching vlogs of certain people and musicians, so I thought I would give it a try. I think I'm pretty much going to suck at it, but let's give it a try anyway. So, like I said, I started a YouTube channel called Struggledrummer. It'll be 10 years in November. And my intention was I just wanted to start putting some videos out there of the things that I was doing. I thought it was interesting. And this series that I'm starting, I think it's more like a way to document the struggle that happens when you thought you were going to be a rock star when you were a kid and you're not. And it's not because you don't have the talent. It's not because you haven't worked hard. It's just what happens. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, that old saying, it's all who you know, holds a lot of weight. And I don't think I knew the right people for that to happen. It's not that I didn't work hard or didn't perfect my musical skills. It's just the way it worked out. Everybody's life does what it does. And so mine steered the path it did. But anywho, I'm in the place I am at now, and I am creating. Some of it's good, a lot of it's not good. But it's still a passion and it's still fun. And like a lot of musicians, I have a day job that pays my bills and my mortgage and lets me acquire gear so I can be creative. And so, where some people golf and some people bowl or do other hobbies or passions, this is mine, making music. And a lot of it's just for me, but other people enjoy it sometimes. Anyway, I started playing drums when I was about 11 or 12. I got interested in it. Actually, I got interested in music in elementary school. I started on the saxophone because I thought it was a cool looking word. Then I moved to trumpet because the sax wasn't loud enough, in my opinion. And then I moved to drums, and that seemed to be where I landed and liked it. Although my parents were somewhat supportive, at the same time, they were reluctant to jump in with both feet. It's being a musician is not a cheap avenue to support your child at. I guess no extracurricular activity is, but in my case, I had to prove that I was very serious about playing music before they started, just buying me gear. So I went through junior high and high school playing in jazz band and marching band and basically just focused on drums. We had a piano at home growing up, and I used to fool around on that a little bit, but basically drums was my main instrument. And out of high school, I went to college, and I was majoring in communications. I really was interested in being in behind the scenes of the movie industry. I thought it was fascinating being behind the camera and the technical aspect of it. And the path that to get there was for me, super boring. Film history just put me to sleep, and I was deciding, this is maybe not the right direction for me. In the meantime, I was actually also enrolled in the jazz band at the college, and I struggled with that as well. And so I quit school and decided to be a rock star, and did that for about 5 years, through my mid 20s. And I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. But I really thought I was going to be on MTV and touring, just like all the other bands that I'd seen and appreciated. We were, I thought, good enough, but it just doesn't always work out that way. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of bands who were really talented, but just didn't have the right backing or the right people interested in promoting you, or whatever it takes to take it to that next level. We worked hard, and but it just didn't work out. And so I took a break, got married, had a son, and spent the next 18 years basically raising him, and following him around and having a great time being a dad. And when he turned 18, I decided I was going to be a musician again. All the while working in the printing industry. It was in my family. So it was easy enough to get a job in that industry. And so I did. And it's been a way for me to pay my bills and still pursue my passion of playing music. And so here I am, 54, and will never be a rock star. When I say that, I mean it's never going to pay the bills. I'm never going to get paid to play music. That's the really crappy part about being a talented musician. And if you look on YouTube, you see thousands of them. I mean, they're amazing instrumentalists and creators and songwriters and singers. But that's about as far as it's going to go. And it sucks. People don't want to pay for music. I mean, they just don't. You just can't make a living in this industry unless you know somebody or you work extremely hard. I think that a lot of people are actually able to live a meager living by monetizing YouTube, as long as they can get people to watch and get sponsors and things like that. There's a lot of YouTube channels I watch that I find very interesting, especially music related. And these people, that's what they do. And they make a living doing that. I think I'm past that point. I don't know. It seems like I'm a little too old to be jumping in that arena. I'm kind of doing this just because I think it would be fun to have a record of what I do every day in here, in this studio. And so this introduction is just a way for you to get to know me a little bit, and you'll be interested or you won't, and that's cool. I'm kind of just doing this for me, and hope you dig it. And so I will probably finish this up with just an introduction to where I've landed here in Utah, and this studio I built, and what I've been doing for the last 2 years, creating music. And then we'll see what happens from there. So, long story short, I'm now 4 years Utah resident, still working in the printing industry, and still able to create music. We bought a house here, and one of the first things I did was build a studio down in the basement. See, in California, where I came from, they don't have basements. I think it's too wet underground. The water table's so much closer. Where we're up here in the high desert, and there's no water table. You're dependent on snow and water reservoirs for your water. So there's basements here, which is cool because it's a great place to have a studio, especially if you're a drummer. So I've spent the last, just before COVID hit, like just coming in here every day and recording stuff and creating. And some of it was taking songs that I love and creating covers. Some of them kind of exact, some of them with my arrangement. And working with somebody I played with in California, and we created a project called 800 Miles, which is the distance between my front door and his. And he's still in California. And so I'll link some examples of that. And it's been fun. But basically, I just create music, and some of it's really bad and some of it's really good. It just depends. And some days I'm creative and some days it's a struggle. I work 10s at the job I have Monday through Thursday. So Friday, I purposely come in every Friday and try to create, maybe sharing the projects I'm working on and the stuff I'm doing. And maybe every Friday when I'm in here trying to create, I'll have a camera going so you can see how crazy it is.